So last episode we uncovered the secrets of rune crafting, and I made a bunch of air runes, but in order to cast Windstrike to grind that magic level up, I'm going to need mind runes as well, which I can now craft, but I'll need a mind talisman to access the altar. So I did a quick look on the OSRS wiki to look for which mobs I can grind for a mind talisman drop, and noticed there are some skeletons in the Lumbridge catacombs that have a chance to drop them, so I decided that's my next course of action. But wait. This guy has a cool cape and I want it. This fight's getting a bit dicier than I was expecting. But it's okay, it's winnable. Yes! Cool cape! Very satisfied with that experience. Also, these imps, I'm pretty sure in RS3 you can craft imp magic armor from their drops. No such luck this time. Either I misremembered or they don't drop it in old school. But they do drop imp ashes, which I feel like I might need for Herblore or something like that, so I'm just going to bank that for now. Also, this one dropped a cool wizard hat, so it looks pretty nice. Look at me. I am the wizard now. Anyway, off to Lumbridge, and I just remembered I can rob people blind, so quick detour for a thieving level up. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not sure how to get into the Lumbridge catacombs. I kind of remember in RS3 there being an entrance to something I would call the catacombs inside the cemetery building, but I'm not seeing it in here. Maybe it's inside this coffin? No catacomb entrance, but a spooky ghost. I'll talk to it, but I know it won't make sense without the ghost speak amulet. Yeah, see, not making any sense. But my character says if I talk to Father Eric, maybe he'll be able to help. I see. It's the quest to get the Ghost Speak amulet. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, today's quest will be the Restless Ghost, so strap in, get some popcorn, as we start our journey by talking to Father Eric. So, we start by asking if the Father has any quests for me to do. And well, it just so happens, in fact, he does have a job for us to do. He's aware that there is currently a ghost problem in the graveyard, but he doesn't quite know how to deal with it. He recommends to us that we should have a chat to Father Ernie to see what he thinks we should do. And Father Ernie is currently living out as a hermit in the swamps, but be careful, the swamps are quite dangerous. So I strap on my adventurer boots and we head out into the dangerous swamps. When I was a lower combat level, these giant rats would aggro me, so I could see this being dangerous then, but now they just kind of ignore me and look for newer players to harass. I accidentally stumbled into this shed. But don't worry, we're going to come back to this shed later on in the series for a different quest. But this isn't where we need to be right now. I could have sworn Father Ernie's house was near the shed. I'm completely tripping right now. I have no idea where it is. But I do eventually find his house, a lot further away than I thought it was. And inside, we have a quick chat about this ghost issue. He starts off by insisting that I leave him alone because he is meditating. I cut him off and say, hey bro, listen, Father Eric sent us. He's clearly annoyed by Eric's incompetence, and he asks us, what's he gotten himself into now? I tell him about the ghost problem, and Ernie tells us that he's vowed to stay here for 2 years meditating, so he can't just up and leave to exercise a ghost. But typically hauntings occur because of unfinished business, so he gives us the Ghost Speak amulet and advises us to talk to the ghost about what unfinished business it has so we can help it move on. I immediately put that drip on. How sick does that look? It's got that little skull. And now, we track back across the swamp to have a bit of a chat with our poltergeist mate. I'm thinking though, of all the places in Gillinor you could choose to be a hermit, why would you choose here? Like, it must stink. Plus there's all these giant rats. I can't imagine that little wooden shack being comfortable. Not to mention it would be so cold in winter. This priest is on something else, I tell you what. But I meet back up with the ghost and I ask him, how's it going? And the ghost tells us, not really good really. We say, damn buddy, unlucky, sorry to hear that. And the ghost is absolutely baffled at this point. He's like, hang on a minute, you can understand me? I go, yeah pal, of course. And the ghost is he's off his chops now. He's just going on about it. We tell him, yeah, all goods mate, all goods, we can understand you, let's get to business. Old mate over in the swamp told us that you have unfinished business, so what's the issue? The ghost ponders on that question for a moment and he says, listen, only thing I can think of, someone's run off with my skull and I'm having trouble sleeping without it. Have a gander in the coffin, you're going to see there's no skull in there. So I have a quick peek and I say, oh true, that would suck. Any idea who's got it? The ghost tells us that some warlocks run off with it, right? off to a big tower to the southwest. And I let him know, oh, well, don't stress, mate, I'll get it back, don't stress. And now I'm off to run across the continent to find the skull. He didn't really give us much to go on, but the only big tower to the southwest I can think of is the Wizard's Tower. But that's got wizards, not warlocks. And then I'm thinking, maybe it's one of the wizards on the top floor. So off I go to the Wizard's Tower. Now when I get to the Wizard's Tower, I immediately get in the blue with the wizard here. Listen, the game said he was level 5, the wizards dropped mind runes, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I won't find the mind talisman on this journey, but golly am I going to get some runes. I quickly find myself in a dicey situation though, and I end up eating all my food to survive the fight. My finger is stuck holding control just so I can sprint away if it gets a bit too dicey. Thankfully, I survived the fight, but my HP isn't too healthy, and I ate all my food. So let's hope there's no combat encounters for the rest of this quest. I honestly can't remember if there is. So I finish the fight, and I head to the top floor, and hang on a minute, isn't that the same fella from the last video, and he's still here grinding ranged against that caged demon? Wizards, but none of them are archmages. So I go back downstairs and wizards, but none of them are archmages. Good on him, honestly good on him. I hope you hit 99, pal, you're an absolute trooper. Anyway, I have a chat to the scary wizards up here. No dialogue options for Ghost Skull pop up, so I guess, oh, well, it must not be here. So I scour around the other floors for a bit looking for hints, no such luck. Only other thing I can think of is asking my mate Cedrador if he has any ideas, but I have a quick chat to him and he doesn't have any dialogue options for it either. So I'm starting to think, maybe there's a different tower, am I tripping? And then I see it. On an altar in the basement, there's a skull. I head over to pick it up, and oh no. A skeleton has spawned to fight me for the skull. I'm a little worried, but the skull is in my inventory, so I'm assuming I'll be right to just dip if it gets too dicey. For a moment, I thought it might be runtime, but slowly but surely, I whittle the skeleton's HP down to less than mine. Winnable, boys, winnable. Hold firm, he only hits for 2s at worst, I can win this. Oh. Seems that the skeleton has despawned. All goods. I got the skull, so let's get the hell out of here before Cedrador gets sus on me. I leave the Wizard Tower, and I head on back to Lumbridge. Now back at Lumbridge, I put the skull back in the coffin, and I have a chat to my mate the Ghost, and the Ghost is stoked that I returned the skull. Hell yeah, I can finally rest in peace. And now that their body is reunited, he flies away into the river, I guess. I wonder if that'll come up later on. With that quest complete, Jesus, that was a lot of prayer XP. It bumped me up 5 levels. Let's go, I'm happy with that. I guess now I'm just going to go steal from the local townsfolk, or maybe keep looking for those catacombs. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like, sub for more quest videos, I'm going to be doing more. And you know what, leave me a comment letting me know what quest you'd like to see me do next. Yep, alright, hooroo, I'll see you in the next one and all that. Righto.